My stomach keeps growling. So a story recently popped up in my newsfeed about a mom getting arrested for letting her 7-year-old son go to the neighborhood playground by himself. This happened in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Of course, once again, we hear a lot of things about Florida. So the mom gave her son permission to go walk to the playground, which was only a couple of blocks down, which would take the kid about 10 to 15 minutes. On the kid's way to the playground, he passed by one of those public pools. Someone noticed that he wasn't with an adult and asked him, "Hey, where's your mommy?" So of course the kid got scared because he probably knows about stranger danger and headed straight to the park. Now the problem with that is that the person thought that was a bit weird and called the cops. The kid took the cops back to his home and of course without any questioning arrested his mom. Now I have so many issues with this because first of all, why the hell are you arresting the mom? First of all, the kid is 7 years old. The mom gave him permission to go ahead to go to the playground by himself, and nowhere does it state in the law how old a kid needs to be able to play in the playground unattended. The mom was locked up and set on bail for $4,000, which thank goodness she was able to post. What kind of law just arrests somebody just for something as ridiculous as that? Back in our day, we just ran around at whatever age, at all sorts of time. We just knew we had to be home by the time the sun was coming down and all was great. I was going from neighborhood to neighborhood, just playing around with the local kids, and everything was peachy keen. And back then, we could not afford cell phones or pagers. It was just, "Hey mom, I'm gonna go outside and play and I'll be back by the time the sun comes down." The mom was smart to give the kid a phone because he always made sure to call his mom whenever he arrived somewhere and whenever he went somewhere. I think the whole thing is just completely ludicrous, and the cops just kept repeating to her over and over again that there are pedophiles around. She's letting her son wander around by himself and there's pedophiles living all around them. To which my reaction is, first of all, why are you allowing pedophiles to live in a neighborhood where kids are living? There are playgrounds, so of course kids will be attending the playground. Why do we let things like this happen? Why does he need to express so much about the pedophiles? Back in my day, we didn't have any of those resources to know when these pedophiles were even around us. Yes, we may know who our neighbors were, we may have gotten to know them, but we really don't know who these people are. I remember 10 years later taking a trip to where I used to live. Some of the people went psycho, they went crazy. Another man shot his wife out of who knows. So we don't know who our neighbors are. We don't know what they are capable of. The fact that the cops kept harassing the mother saying there was pedophiles all around and how dare she let her 7-year-old son go just boggles my mind, because now we're more aware of where all these people live. We're more aware of where they are surrounded. Back then, none of that even mattered. If I was the cops trying to prove a point, I would just slap the mother on the wrist and just give her a warning, not arrest her. What is this trying to even prove? That we can't let our kids out ever, that nowhere's safe, that we're just gonna allow crazy people living around, and it's your fault that anything happens, not our fault because we're allowing the pedophile to live blocked down from you. One main issue I have about the cops beating down the mother, about the pedophiles living around her, is the fact that 50% of the time, those people who are registered as sex offenders aren't actually people who did anything wrong. Some people who are registered as a sex offender never actually did anything wrong. Most of the time it's just an 18-year-old kid that got arrested because the other parents of the family didn't agree with him dating their 17-year-old daughter, and he gets slapped with a sex offender charge. Other times some people were mistakenly charged as a sex offender even though they didn't do anything wrong, but they had that title forever branded onto them. I'm not saying that we should leave our kids unattended, but the kid was 7 years old, very mature, always responsible. He's 7 years old. There's a difference between if he was like 4 and she just let him run all over the place. So what are your thoughts about this story? Do you think the mom was completely at fault for letting her 7-year-old son go to the playground by herself? Do you think she should have attended him at least and not let him go wander around freely? Do you think the cops were at fault for arresting the mom instead of giving her a warning? Do you think any of that should have even been an issue? So thanks for watching, and if this is your first time here, hi! My name is Panda. You should subscribe because I do post videos every Wednesday and Fridays for reviews. And I will see you guys later. Love you! Bye! So now none of the books line up equally on my shelf. That's not how this works! That's not how any of this works!